Hello and welcome back to the channel. I've had a lot of DMs on Instagram asking me for a video on the brand new BMW XM and my opinion of it. It's been causing a lot of controversy over the last few days once it was released. We knew something special was meant to come out for BMW M. No one was expecting it to be an SUV. So BMW is celebrating 50 years of M next year, and they said they were going to make a special halo model. And I guess everyone was expecting, M Motorsport, Heritage, maybe something like M1, a new version of that. So when they teased the M Vision Next, everyone thought that would be the car. Then they said they're cancelling it and they're not actually going to bring it out. And now we've got the XM, which is a complete standalone M car, a halo car to celebrate BMW's 50th M anniversary. So I'm very conflicted about this. The car does look like a love child between a Tesla Cybertruck and an X7, or maybe someone took some narcotics, saw Moto from Madagascar, and it kind of pixelated in front of them, and this is what we ended up with. But I don't know what to say about it really. It's very strange looking. I'm not the target market because I've never had an SUV, so maybe people who want a really large, luxurious SUV don't mind it being that ugly. Man, if you look at the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, that's not a good looking car. See the Bentley Bentayga, it's better, but again, it's not a good looking car. Urus, I don't mind the Urus at all, but again, it's not a traditionally beautiful car. But out of all of those I mentioned, I'd probably have the Urus and the Bentley over the new XM if I was forced to choose between them. Out of the current kind of larger SUVs, I think the Audi is the best looking one, and Audi design has been really nice of late, as has Mercedes, but I think a lot of people are now saying that's traditional design and it's boring, and now people are looking to the future. Maybe the XM is so futuristic and so far ahead of our normal people's thinking that we don't quite get it yet. Does that mean in 5-10 years we will get it and everything else will be really old? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. So looking at the actual design of the car, from the front end, the headlights are very, very narrow. They're actually the side lights that you're seeing. The main headlights are hidden under a glass panel underneath, and the grills are absolutely massive and they're illuminated. So if you miss them, you will definitely not miss them now because they have like daytime running lights going all the way around them. You can see some elements of the iX, I think, coming through, but it's very, very different. It's very angular. Doesn't look like there's any curves. The whole car looks like it's been designed with straight lines. If you look to the side of the car, again, it's very blocky, and I think the worst thing about the car from the side is actually the wheels. BMW normally make absolutely beautiful wheels, and I don't know where these ones are from. They've got the Rolls-Royce sort of floating center cap, but the actual design of the wheels, I don't know where it comes from. It doesn't really suit the nature of the car, in my opinion. I like a lot of BMW OEM wheels when they come out. They're actually very, very nice, and the only reason I normally change them on our own cars is because I just want something different, not because there's actually something wrong with the design of the wheels. The back of the car, they've got a hint to the BMW M1 with the two BMW logos etched into the glass. And I don't know how I feel about that, because the M1 was a very special car, the only other standalone M car there's been, and now it's on an SUV. Now I understand that SUVs sell better than normal cars, but being an M fan myself and owning lots of them, I find it a bit strange that that's now going on an SUV, but maybe again, I'm out of touch. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. The other thing I find a bit strange about the rear is the lights and the way they wrap around really far around the side of the car. Also, it doesn't have a BMW badge in the middle between the lights, so that's slightly off-putting because you're used to having that as a focal point when you look at the rear of the car. And the badge placement seems to be kind of all over the place. A lot of people have been given the exhaust tips. Hey, personally, I actually like those. I think that's the best bit of the car. But again, we all have different opinions and people are going to like different things. I'm really interested to see who the target market is for this car. I think it's going to be like £200,000. It's going to have a V8, more than likely the S63 TU from the F90 M5 and hybrid technology. So it's going to be the most powerful M car ever made at 750 horsepower. So it's certainly going to shift. It's very large, so it's going to be around the same size as an X7 from what we can tell. The interior, again, this is a concept, so it's quite wacky and wild. It's got the same dash as the BMW iX. I really like the actual interior of the old look inside the new car. It's very luxurious, and it's got like kind of velvet in the back, which is a different color. I don't think anyone would spec the car like that, but I think they're just giving you an indication of what you can do. The roof is actually very, very cool as well. It's got all those triangles and it's got little ambient lighting around everywhere. And it's been suggested that this car is going to have a huge amount of personalization available, just like you can on the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. So I think they're going for the super, super high luxury market, and at the price they're charging, I think it comes down to now why a lot of these SUVs, ugly cars, and really stick out. Is it because people who've got lots of money want to show other people they've got lots of money by buying something that sticks out so much and is so different from the norm? At the end of the day, with these things, it's the sales figures that are going to tell the story. It's easy for us people to talk about the cars and not like the design, but if a company has done their research properly and know who their target market is, they should know who it's going to sell to. I think it's such a departure from traditional BMW design. Our eyes are just not used to it. The G80 with the grille was controversial. That was the only part of the car for me that was kind of controversial. The rest of it kind of worked. And the more time we spent with the car, the more we've got used to it. I would still say that's not a traditionally beautiful car like the F80 before it was, but it's aggressive and you do get used to it. And I think we're used to seeing concepts from BMW and actually lusting over them. And recently we're not lusting over them as much as we have been in the past. So what do you guys think about the new XM? Do you think it's a bold move from BMW to go and produce something amazing like this? Or are they really leaving their traditional fan base kind of in the dark, not taking them into the equation when they're designing this stuff, and they're actually going for a new target audience? Let us know in the comments. So as you can tell, I'm not a massive fan of the XM, but what really gets me is that because this is meant to be a celebration of 50 years of M, are they looking too far forward to the future and not actually celebrating their heritage and their history? What do you guys think they should have done? In my opinion, they could have actually gone back and done a recreation of the E30 M3. So taken an E30 M3 and kind of made it new with new technology, or they could have actually taken the M Vision Next and expanded that project further, so you had a real nod back to the only other M car there's ever been that was a standalone car, and made it a swan song. We know that electric's coming in and combustion engines are going to be over. They could have made something really special with that M Vision Next and made it into a true BMW supercar for the modern age. And if you wanted to have a crossover between the past and the future, they could have used a combustion engine and electrification in that model at the same time, just like they've done in the XM. So it was kind of bridging both worlds. The other thing I wanted to mention was there has been rumors of an M2 that was all electric and maybe 1000 horsepower, and the same with an M5. So could this XM be a bit of a red herring? Have BMW got more up their sleeves for the 50th celebration of M? I guess we'll find out next year. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on. If you want to join the conversation, please drop us a comment below and we will do our best to respond to you. And if you're running out of things to watch, why don't you watch one of these two?